Welcome to The Constant Struggle. I'm Nick Watson.
And I'm Brie Watson. And this is a podcast where we talk about the struggles balancing life and art.
I am a writer and watcher of Anthony Bourdain videos.
Still, eh?
Oh, constant.
Amazing. And I'm an improviser and a comedian, a producer, and soon to be director, Nick. That's what I'm going to talk about this episode.
Oh, interesting. Freaking interesting.
Now, this is episode number 77 of the Constant Struggle podcast. And today we're having a great little chat with Rhiannon Archer, stand-up comedian. She's also comic actor. I'm not going to take that away from her. That's what she wanted. That's what she is. A mom and also student. So it'll be interesting to go into that as well. But before we go into the episode, before you hear our chat with Rhiannon, why don't Nick? Why don't you and I get a little caught up here with what's going on with our respective artistic endeavors? I don't know why I said
Sure, I've not done much. I got my story handed in, short story for the Toronto Star.
Oh, that's good. You made the deadline.
Yep, made the old deadaroo, and then I'm going to start editing the books probably tonight.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I've been itching to get that done. I'm looking forward to reading my own stuff, which does not fill me with confidence. I've never heard another writer say that, so I must be doing something wrong.
Well, maybe as soon as you start, you'll be like,
oh, this is terrible. Perfect.
This was misguided.
I've wasted my time.
No, it's good. It's good to edit it, right? It's good to get it nice and cleaned up.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
don't know. It'll be interesting anyway. Sorry, go ahead, Brie. Yep.
So we're just announced, the casting notice just went out. I am directing an improv show at the Hamilton Fringe this summer.
Oh, cools.
Yeah, we were.
How does that work?
Yes, we were meant to put this production on 2 years ago.
What happened 2 years ago, Brie?
We had nothing. Nothing happened.
It's a quiet 2 years.
That's
very,
right. It was
very quiet.
Very zen, pretty calm. Yeah, okay, so how does that work? Basically, a buddy of mine, Craig Logue in Hamilton, has started up a small theater company called Red Brick Theater in Hamilton. And he wants to put on improvised performances as well as scripted stuff, but he wants to start off with a nice big improv project for the Fringe. The show is called End with a Kiss, and it is a narrative improv piece inspired by Hallmark movies.
Oh,
so it's basically going to be
give yourself that little tiny chocolate thingy, right?
Delicious. So it's an improvised Hallmark movie. We're going to do, I think there's 7 or 8 of them. I'm pretty sure there's 8, so there'll be 8 separate dates. So 8 separate movies that we're going to create on the spot. Yeah, during the Hamilton Fringe, which is the end of July this summer.
That's pretty interesting, because I feel like all Hallmark movies are improvised anyway. They're just like at the start of the shoot, they get a suggestion for what small town they're in. They try to figure out why the lady's rich.
I don't think anybody ever tries to figure that out. I think it's just accepted that she is. But similar, Nick, what we're going to do is we're going to have a wheel of holidays, because it's always about a different holiday.
Arbor Day.
Yeah, Arbor Day will for sure be on the wheel. And then, so right now we're in the process of casting. So we put out an audition notice. So if anybody listening is really into narrative improv, or really into Hallmark movies, I urge you to send a tape. Go to redbricktheater.com and send a tape. So that'll be that's a big chunk of my summer coming up. I'm also going to be spending the first. Fun. Yeah, it will be fun. I'm also spending the first probably week or 2 weeks of July in the East Coast, which will be nice too. Because friend of the podcast, Jillian English, is finally having her Canada wedding, so we'll be in the East Coast. And I was kind of hoping to run some workshops either before or after that
Ooh.
wedding too. So we'll see how that goes. Other than that, we've got classes coming up at Improv Niagara, new shows. It's so nice to say we have shows coming up at Improv Niagara.
Oh, that's so cool.
We've got a, let's see, in
Nature
April.
is healing.
Isn't it? Well, I mean, the wastewater would indicate otherwise, but whatever.
We don't talk about COVID.
One thing I'm excited for is next month there's going to be a 420 show in Niagara, where some of the cast will consume an edible about a half hour before the show starts, and the other half of the cast will not. And we have to try to do scenes
and you have
together.
to guess who?
The audience gets to try to guess. I'll probably be able to tell by the frustration in the sober improvisers. But we did this last year online, so it'll be fun to see how different, if at all different, in person. And I bet it will be. It'll just be more giggling.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So that'll be fun and dumb, and I can't wait.
I don't know, Brie. Laughter at improv.
I know.
Those two go together.
We had a great show this past week. It's so nice. It's so nice to start getting back into things. So yeah, that's let's see. That's what I'm up to these days.
Yeah, who knew all we needed was a 2-year break from everything brought on by a global pandemic.
I know. No kidding. No kidding.
And impending World War III.
Let's not get into that because it's scary. I hope you're practicing hiding under your desk.
Oh, yeah. God, I can't believe our parents' desks were made of concrete and lead.
No kidding. Well, I mean, the lead part, I believe.
For sure. That's what they painted it with.
Yeah.
Is this wood? No.
Oh, I've been licking it this whole time.
Mm-hmm. Your grades show it.
And speaking of grades, what a beautiful segue, Nick. A beautiful segue into our episode with Rhiannon Archer, who I didn't realize had I don't know if I want to say struggled with, but has dealt with ADHD her whole life. And I think the story about, I think the sort of intro discussion about her formative years in school, I find that very painful to hear.
Yeah, if you're fed up with our pro teacher takes on this podcast, which we often have, this one's for you.
Yeah. Well, at least it seems like the situation's getting a little bit better. But you know what? Find out for yourself. Take a listen to episode number 77 with the hilarious Rhiannon Archer.
Yeah.
We're here with a talented stand-up comedian, actor, mom, soon-to-be brain lady, Rhiannon Archer, everybody. Give it up for Rhiannon Archer. Yay! Oh, man. Thank you for being here.
Anytime. If you guys hear screaming, it's because my kids are in the background. So again, sorry.
Rhiannon, thank you for being here. I think it was exciting because we haven't talked to too many parents, and Nick is a dad, so I think it's it's fun for us to chat with people who have kids, because that's part of the struggle of an artist, right?
That is a literal constant struggle,
right? Yeah, making sure that the little people that you created survive.
Yeah, I'm literally sitting here waiting for them to come in and scream about something really stupid, or my dog to start screaming or barking.
That's
what it's life. It's fun.
That's right, Nick. You got the dog now too. It's great.
That was an added bonus of having psychotic energy in the house because of a squirrel.
Yeah. See, the thing is this. Well, Bruce is just a little goose. Just a little pug Boston Terrier. But like honestly, he is more helpful because just snack time alone, this guy's like got to be like part pig. And he follows the pigs around and like bats clean up so well. He actually like cuts so much on our like cleaning. Like he does. He's a good boy.
It's like a Roomba dog.
Yeah, I should have called him Roomba. He's looking at me now. He's like, that's a stupid name. Like,
how dare you even? Don't even pretend. Don't even joke about renaming me. However, Rhiannon, what? Let's, you do stand-up comedy. How long you been doing stand-up? Let's get into it.
I started comedy because I wanted to do comedy acting, and my friend signed me up for this like stupid reality show that was airing on Slice.
Which one?
And I think you and I both did it. It was The List. No,
I don't know.
Eliza Palmer.
No,
she's a sweetheart.
nice.
Basically, it was like 1,001 things to do before you died, but they were like, some of them were cool, some of them were dumb. Like one woman got to wear like $1 million in jewelry and go bowling. Like, okay, I get this. And then another woman got to go on a shopping trip a weekend in Paris.
Oh.
And then I got to do stand-up comedy.
Oh.
Yeah, but I at the time I was doing improv, and I really wanted to do comedy acting, not necessarily stand-up, but then I tried stand-up and I just work better alone.
Sure.
So I kind of, then did stand-up more often. I still love doing improv, I still love doing sketch and stuff like that, but yeah, that's the story. And then since then I've just been the best.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I love the idea of like what made you want to do comedy acting, because it's such a specific like place in the acting world. Had you studied to do acting? Were you, what was it in you that was like, I'm going to be a comedic actor?
Well, I always wanted to do, okay, so it's just like, it's kind of like a sad, but like very common tale. Had parents that basically did not pay attention or give a crap about what I was doing.
Did you have siblings?
Yeah, my brother, and to this day is still funnier than I am. He's really quick. He's amazing at improv. But so I always wanted to be kind of like him, and I wanted to do like SNL and be in like comedy movies, not realizing that they had a background of like improv, and you go through Second City and then you get like scouted or asked to audition for Second City that way. I didn't realize that that's how any of that worked, because I didn't have anybody really guiding or helping.
Sure.
So I just kind of was like, yeah, I'll do comedy acting. And the school I went to in Burlington, the drama teacher was an absolute, are we allowed to swear on this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Fuck yeah.
No, she was just an absolute piece of shit.
Nice.
She was late all the time. She didn't care. She didn't teach. If you didn't bring this woman a coffee, you were definitely not getting a part in the school plays. Every time I auditioned for things, she would always go, "Oh, Rhiannon, I keep forgetting that you can sing." But it's one of those things where it was like, yeah, and she gave like all the like good parts and things that you could like learn to like, encourage you in this and that. Like, she was just such a piece of shit. She was just so discouraging as a figure. And I'm not like the only one who thinks that, like majority of people do. And it's funny because all the people that she kind of raised up are all now like MLM
shitty comics.
No, not even. They're like MLM girl bosses, like just bullies or fucking nurses. And I love nurses, don't get me wrong, I respect and love nurses, but like there's a certain type of girl that I went to school with that I'm like, yeah, she a nurse.
Yeah.
Right. One of the many teachers that were like more or less super discouraging at Notre Dame in Burlington, Ontario.
It's so awesome.
So funny because the other day I did a show in Burlington. That's not the other day. Around Christmas, I did a show in Burlington and called out like so many teachers in case they were there just wondering. And like there's still some teachers that like teach there, and it's like, oh, tell that person I said to fuck off.
Yeah.
The girl. Well, it was funny because I was like, anybody here, where are my Notre Dame people at? And this girl in the front was like, yeah, me. And I'm like, oh, when'd you graduate? She's like, I'm grade 9. And I'm like, fuck
you. You are not allowed to be here.
Yeah, basically. But it was funny though.
Yeah, it must be pretty cathartic to do that. But and it's also such a like it. I mean, I don't think people realize, or like the story is supposed to be that I was inspired and this teacher took me under their wing, or this I'm doing what I'm doing because of my teacher, and it's such a bummer to hear it the other way around. So it's I don't know, that bums
Shout
me
out,
out.
shout out Doug Janik, Avery.
Doug Janik was the best English teacher. We had nothing but great English teachers in our high school.
Yep.
Although
we had a stacked deck.
we had, I mean, the drama program was like nothing though, which is why, anyway, it doesn't matter. This isn't about us. It's about Rhiannon, and it's a bummer. But it is still amazing that you decided to pursue your, the acting and the performance, even though you had such, or maybe even despite of such a shitty teacher.
No, yeah, I had so many. I had absolutely so many. And this is like, and I think now that I have kids and now that I have life experience on how things actually work, like even when I went to Mohawk for television and then later on worked in television for like 15 years up until like recently, I'm like, what you're teaching and what you're doing is literally, and I'm not saying this for all teachers, and I know that sounds like really, because there are some truly amazing. There was Mrs. Davis, Mrs. Dosen, Miss Tompa from like my childhood were absolutely inspiring and wonderful and lovely and pushed me into doing things. But like, I'm like, what are you teaching? What are you teaching? Like what? There's literally a paint can class at Mohawk College.
A what?
Which was literally paint can class.
Paint can
class.
What
it was how to operate a camera, and it was like a television camera, and basically it was like an entire like semester of like following a paint can on a string that was like, so basically you had to like learn to move the camera like really fast so that the paint can didn't look like it was moving at all. And it was just so stupid.
That sounds
and like
agonizing.
It was horrible. Yeah, and it was just really bad. It was like, it was really bad, but in spite of all of that, I've become amazing. I have a lot of contempt for teachers, but like teachers, I think from my era, because now that my kids are in school and the teachers that are like currently active now, I'm finding are really, really good.
Good.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, I think a lot has changed since we were in school, as far as how to I mean, even just like a bunch of different like learning styles, and people who had, like, for example, I don't know, Dan's dyslexic, for example, and he I don't know why I keep announcing this on this podcast. I think it's just because where he went to school, that nobody
can't read.
Yeah, my husband cannot read. But where he went to school, like nobody recognized it. They're just like, oh,
like,
he's
it's the devil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let me guess. Because I'm actually, and I know it's the hot thing. It's so in right now to diagnose yourself as ADHD when it's probably like, nah, you're bored because for the past 2, you're bored and depressed.
Yeah.
Like I have an official, like, since I was 4 of ADHD. Like, I'm very neurodivergent, and I think if you spend enough time with me, you'll be like, oh yeah, absolutely. But my entire life, I kept being told to like, Rhiannon's just lazy and dumb, and she doesn't know. I know, and I'm just like,
to me that sounds like you're just in Catholic school the whole time.
I was in Catholic school.
There you go.
But I was just told that I was just lazy and dumb. And if I just applied myself, and I'm like, but this is how my brain works. Like, would you go up to like a cancer person, and a cancer patient, just be like, just don't have cancer? Like, it's that easy. No,
you're just lazy. That's the reason you have cancer, is because you're lazy and dumb, and you don't know what to do. You can't fix it yourself. Yeah,
not have it, you'll be fine. Yeah. But like, and it's massively different now, because I'm at the age of 38. I don't care. I was about to be like 38. I'm back in school, and it took me like the first year I white knuckled it, because I actually have information processing issues, and I can definitely read. I can read at a very high level, but I cannot read large amounts of text because I just my brain just shuts down and I go into autopilot and I'll be reading it, but not retaining a single thing.
Oh, so it's like that thing where you're just going over the page, and by the end of it, you're like, "Oh fuck, what did I just read?"
Yeah, but it's like it's a serious problem when you're in school for say psychology when you're supposed to be reading like a full textbook a week.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of white knuckling it, but then like I found out that they have like accommodations for students like this, and it's recognized as like a legitimate. I hate saying this word because I don't want to feel like I'm taking the word doesn't offend me, and I don't want to feel like I'm taking away from people. But sorry, I don't want anybody to think like I'm taking stuff away from more people who have more needs than me. But ADHD is looked at as a legitimate disability.
Yeah.
And because I am at a disadvantage. So basically I get accommodations now at school where they give me this program that turns all of my texts into voice. And so I'm banging out like crazy amounts of reading and processing it appropriately because I have those accommodations in place. So it's a massively different place now. And they're not just turning to me and being like, well, you're just lazy and dumb and don't apply yourself. That's when I was like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Right. And then when I speak to teachers about it, because my one son, my older son is 6. He is definitely ADHD. We're in the process of getting him diagnosed because like as he started getting older, I was like, hey, I know this.
Oh, yeah.
I know this. I'm like, you will not stop talking and you keep on talking about stuff that nobody cares about and you will jump from one topic to another. Right, Disney? And yeah. So that's gonna seem weird because nobody's gonna know that I was talking about Disney for 20 minutes off the top of the show.
And we're not gonna hide.
We're not letting
get sued.
No, that's between us. And then my other son is 3. He's autistic, so it's like it's a way different place. But like it's kind of bizarre. I don't know if you guys, as you grow older, and I know Brie that you work with students, right? You work with younger kids sometimes, right?
Sometimes, well, yeah, teens are usually the youngest I'll get. Like,
Yeah.
you know, they're in high school usually, yeah.
Yeah, Nick, and you have 2 kids, so you just be like, you realize after the fact, and then like you're like, oh, maybe that person wasn't a dick. Maybe that person was having like, you know, sensory issues or was autistic or ADHD or dyslexic or all these things, and you're like, damn it. Oh, that's not cool.
I think, yeah, because when we were growing up, it was like either you excelled in school or you were a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Or you were doomed to go work in a factory.
There's no middle ground. There's no middle ground. And the horrible thing is, if Miss took 2 seconds and did her job, the stupid cow, maybe she would have encouraged so many other people to do so many other things, because again, let's bring it all the way back. I wanted to do comedy acting, but I had no experience. So my rationale was, okay, well, why don't I go into television and then I can come from behind the camera to front of the camera. And that was the stupidest thing ever because that didn't work out.
Oh my God, that makes me so happy to hear, because I was like, I think maybe I should go to university and study acting. And instead I was like, you know what? It's not going to pan out. I'll study political science instead. And now it's like, well, okay.
One person was like, yeah, Brie, do it. You're very good. Who knows what you would have done, you know?
Yeah, I think that was one of the problems. I didn't end up doing acting at school. I did after. I went to Humber after to do the comedy program. But so you went to Algonquin to do, I just think it's like a common story of like, especially in the entertainment industry, I'm going to say, like, if your parents aren't in it, nobody else knows how it works. So nobody, like, you know, if you're like a young kid and you want to get into acting, for example, like here it was like, well, you could do community theater. And it was like, yeah, but I'd like to do acting and get paid for it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's something in the Niagara region that is like, what? You know, maybe it's different. I mean, it's different because we got the Shaw Festival, but that's for like serious professionals, you know?
Not just for that.
That's
And you have
right.
to read all those Shaw plays.
Nobody wants to read Shaw plays. Come on. We want to go to, we just watch Shakespeare, or anyway. Well, St. Catherine's also has the Foster Festival now, so if you're a big fan of Norm Foster. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, if you want to go into entertainment, I don't think, like, I think if you're not in Toronto or maybe Vancouver, in this country, nobody knows what you've got to do. So I think it makes total sense that you're like, oh, well, I want to work in television. I want to act for television. So learning about whatever television program is available to me, that makes sense. And
Yeah, exactly. I went news.
There you go.
That's news for years.
And so after graduating, so you went to, where did you say you went?
Went to Mohawk.
So you went to Mohawk, and where did you start working after that?
I literally was like, so I did fine in Mohawk. I did okay in Mohawk. Like, I actually thought I did a lot worse than I did, but like, I did not apply myself. My ADHD was running high.
Were you? You said you were diagnosed young. Did they give you any medication for it?
Yeah, I was on Ritalin for years, which really messed. And I want to say like really messed up. And thankfully the medication now is better. But I was on Ritalin, like really messed me up as a kid.
Yeah, my best buddy was on Ritalin for a long time, and she stopped, and because how did it mess you up?
Basically what it would do is, if you don't take it properly, because if you're just like kind of like a child of divorce and not huge neglect, but neglect enough, if you were a child like I was, you have to take it properly. You have to take it in the morning with food. And sometimes my mom would be like, hey, get up, get ready to go. Sometimes I wouldn't eat breakfast, and then I would have to go down to the office and take my Ritalin from the teachers there. And that was like like the process of taking it was like inappropriate, and the process of what it did to my body was inappropriate. So basically I'd go to class, and then the teachers would send me down to the office to take my pill, and I had to like sit there and be like, hi, can I have my pill from like secretary? And then the secretary would like hand it to me and like go to the fountain to drink it. Then I would take it and go back to class. Or sometimes the teacher would also like, because they were a see you next Tuesday, because they just wanted the summers off, I guess. And they would be like, I'd be really talkative one day in class. They'd like, Rhiannon, did you take your pill today in front of the class?
Fucking hell.
So like the absolute abuse of so many teachers was just like really horrific. So they did that, and then basically I wouldn't take it all the time, because sometimes I would forget, and then the teachers would embarrass me and I'd be like, yes, I did take it.
Yeah, so there's shame in it. There was a lot of shame in taking it, in just even having to take it.
And then what it did, because if you don't take it properly, I don't know, it just like sped up my heart rate. And I would have like anxiety if I talked. And so I would kind of be really quiet and buckle down and just like do my work. And that was, and I also would not eat. So I had a lot of like weight issues, and like I still do, because basically I would not eat all day, and then I'd go home and power feed.
Right. Yeah, because you're starving.
You do that in your formative years. Like it would like, and like it makes you like overeat, because then you're like so hungry, and then you would eat really fast. Like it was a nightmare. And you only realize it after, right? You only realize it after when you have your own kids, I guess. At least I did. Move it, Mort. Sorry, my cat jumped up.
Well, yeah, that's brutal.
So, on that happy story, yeah.
But it's I mean, I guess it's a relief to know that there's better medication available now. But you're saying, were you still on Ritalin when you went to school, when you went to college?
No, I stopped taking Ritalin like in high school, because I was just like, no, I don't want this anymore. And I always had like and also like it wasn't explained to me what ADHD was ever. So like, I don't think I need this. I'll be fine. So I just never took it because in high school, they're like, well, she's old enough. She's an adult now.
She gets to make her own decisions about her.
But for God's sakes, we're never going to teach anyone how to pay their taxes.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay,
It's ridiculous.
So you made it through college, fine. And then once you're out of college, do you go straight into working in the TV business, or what's that transition like?
Yeah, so the only time I was like, the only thing I really flunked in college was editing.
Okay.
I was not a good editor. I
and
was
was
good
it like
on
how long
what were you guys
ago
using
was
back then?
2006.
Okay, so it's
okay.
on computers. It's not like you're using
Well, I
like
was actually,
film or anything anymore.
no, but we were using tape to tape still.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like one of the last tape to tape editors at not one of the last, but like one of the last people they had on shift for tape to tape in case anything happened.
Right.
So basically I got like this summer placement at the CBC, and they were like, yeah, we'll put you in ENG, which I'm like, oh, okay, cool, because ENG at Mohawk was like going out and shooting stories and then bringing it back and editing them. I was like, yeah, I'd love to do that, because then like, you know, going all around Toronto, and I can like, you know, my days will go by really, really fast. And then my first day, they sit me down in an editing suite. And I'm like, what's this? And they're like, ENG, they're like, editor or something, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, or electronic news gathering. And then I was like, oh, but I thought I told you that. They're like, what's your weakness? I'm like, I think I said lifting heavy things.
Like the editing of this production.
Yeah. And so then they put me as an editor, and it was like the highest paying like student job. And I was like, fuck. But
Right.
like I, you know, got thrown into it, and I ended up becoming like a really, really good editor. And I would train other people. And then, you know, the CBC kept fucking me over by like laying me off and breaking service so that the union wouldn't make me permanent. And that went on for years. And then I left.
I had the opposite experience. They're like, you're in the union, stay forever, even though you don't like your job. But anyway.
Oh man, I must have pissed. Well, I know who I pissed off there. She's a twat. But
Hey.
she just knew that I was ADHD and just like, yeah, I'm talkative. But like, you put me on all the shitty shifts at night, so when people come in, of course I'm gonna talk to them. But yeah, so
how long? Yeah, how long did you do editing at CBC?
6-7 years.
Okay. And was it during that time that you started doing stand-up? Because I find that interesting. If you're like really into editing and you wanted to be a comic actress, did you make? Hang on, I'm asking two questions at the same time, which is bad interview, Brie, bad. But yeah, did you make comedy videos that you could edit?
Yeah, so I've edited all my stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Rhiannon and I want to make a sketch with my sketch partner, and
I was gonna be like, this is why I never told people, because they're like, oh, can you edit my reel? And I'm like, no, man.
So you're editing videos, you're training people how to do editing, and you start doing stand-up at the same time-ish.
Yes, because I basically worked all the shitty shifts. I don't know what I did to them either. I got yelled at for being on the phone once and being on Facebook when nobody was in my suite once. Because they just
are you meant to be there with cat-like readiness in case something comes in?
But I was.
Okay.
But they were like, they just like I don't know, they just hated me, and that's fine. That like my manager, like there was this old guy, he was like in his like 80s, and he was like this like old like news reporter, like Scottish guy, and one like he would always be shuffling. He wasn't an asshole, but he was sweet. But sometimes I don't know if it was his age or whatever, but like he would like kind of spaz out and like get really angry, and I was like, you can't treat me like that.
Yeah.
And I guess he didn't like that. And he was like, one day told my boss, she's always on the computer, she's always on, not paying attention, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I'm just not sitting there like taking your abuse, sir.
Yeah.
Freaking narc.
Yeah. And so then she would always like come in and yell at me every time I wasn't like sitting there watching the news like as it was happening. Like I'm like, well, yeah, I edited it, it's good. Like I never missed a deadline. I always said yes to shifts, but because they would always give me shitty shifts, basically like Thursday to Sunday from 7 p.m. till 2 a.m.
Really?
What else are you gonna do? You got Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays off. So I went and started doing stand-up.
Nice.
Yeah. And from there, like it got better. Like I eventually got laid off for the last time. Because I like caused a stink because they weren't making me permanent. And basically their union was like, if you work 18 months consecutively with no break in service, we'll make you permanent. And I worked 17 months consecutively. Like I missed weddings, I missed trips, I missed all this stuff because I was like, I can't I'm off and I can't break it. And then they laid me off at 17 weeks. 17 months, 2 weeks.
Oh my God. Oh.
And the thing is that the president of the union, like and I'm not trying to be rude either, but like from what I gathered from her, and I could be wrong, so I'm not going to use her name, but she was like a waitress who worked at the bar across from CBC, and like her dad was like the president of the union, so she became the president of the union, and then they gave her an
Oh my God.
She might have had an editing degree, I don't know, but I was told she didn't. She might. She was a lovely lady, but still could not help me.
Right.
And I was like, well, then can I have my dues back?
Yeah.
And then oh God, that was the nail in my coffin. Oh my God, why are we like, I'm such a happy, upbeat person. I don't know why like we're talking about this like,
because it's the constant struggle podcast, and you are giving us what we want. You're giving us the shit.
Okay.
The struggle.
And so at that point, you're doing stand up a lot. You're where did you go to work after that? What did you do for work? Was it stand up full time? Because I know you had a really successful run of fringe shows, but obviously that doesn't, you know what I mean? You don't sustain, it doesn't pay all the bills, unfortunately, fringe shows.
Well, so I then worked for like, I'm gonna give you the Coles notes on this. I then worked for like Rogers, and then, no, I worked for the Score, I'm a liar. I worked for this production company that did the show Tanks, and one day they just locked us out because they went bankrupt and didn't tell us, so then I was out on my ass. Then I got a job at the Score, and then Rogers bought the Score, and then I worked at Rogers for a month, and then they laid me off. Then I worked for Chorus, and they are the fucking worst.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
Well, I don't even care. I'll even flat out. They had great managers. I couldn't love my managers more. But I worked there for 6 years. I started at 40,000, and by the time I quit, I was at 42. They were misogynistic and shitty. After had my mat leave, I was a producer. No, I was a packaging producer, whatever the hell that means. And first production meeting back. My dipshit manager of the like whole office area turns to me and goes, "Welcome back, Rhiannon. What's it like earning your living for once now?"
Oh my
Fuck's
god.
sakes.
I was
What a
like,
dick.
yeah, I know, he's such a piece of shit. And that he got fired too. That guy was such a turd. But my manager, Jason, he was a fucking dream. The nicest man in the world. He took the bat for me, tried everything. He was just such a good guy. But like, chorus fucking sucks. Diamond Doug. He was
boy. I think he's our premier now, isn't he?
No, that shithead Doug. Don't get me. As a mom of autism, don't.
Oh God, sorry. Yep.
Like, I'll get. You will not be able to use this podcast for sure. But anyways, yeah. So yeah. Then there was Diamond Doug. He was he's like the president of he was the president of Chorus.
Okay.
Right? And he was like, "Yeah, I'm your friend. You can message me and we can talk, blah, blah, blah." And basically I said, like, "Hey, Doug," before I was going on mat leave, I'm like, "You have so many mothers here. And if you wanted to up production, why don't you guys, you have so much empty space because you guys are hemorrhaging money because you're bad at what you do. And why don't you like get a brought in here?"
You got a slide.
Right? Oh, I'm going to tell you about that. But I was like, "Why don't you get this or that?" And I got like such a generic, like, "Thanks, this is a great idea. Let me mull it over." Blah, blah, blah. But anyways, yeah. So that slide, you think it's all fun and games. Sorry. That slide you think is all fun and games, but they've actually sanded it down so you go down it very slow.
Oh.
It's not fun.
They sanded it.
It's a business slide.
Because kids and adults just kept fucking getting whoosh, like, and they're like, "Holy shit!" Yeah.
You lost another intern.
Basically, I think that's how they should just fire people. Is like throw it in down the slide.
Oh man.
But anyways, yeah, that was a shit place to work too. It was really bad. I never I quit at it like height of pandemic.
Oh.
And they were just like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bye."
Yeah.
And they're like, "But," and I'm like, "No, bye, goodbye, bye."
Now I need it. Like, how does one go from? I mean, I guess it definitely makes sense that you would want to get out of this industry that sort of treated you like garbage repeatedly. How?
It just wasn't going to get better. And here's the thing: at no point, and I'm not saying like I was a perfect worker, but like I never missed deadlines and I helped out when I could. Here's the beautiful thing about being ADHD. My multitasking is amazing because I just get shit done fast so I can slack. But
also, like, people with ADHD you can hyper focus on the things that you need to do.
Yeah, and get them done.
Yeah.
It was almost like, joke's on you, you idiots. You give me literally like an hour worth of work that I can get. No, let's be nice. You give me 5 hours of work a week that you need to get done in like 5 days. But like I can, or you give me like, let's say like 20 hours of work to do in a 40-hour work week. I can do it in 5 because I can multitask and get shit done fast. Because I love to slack. But I cannot slack if I have deadlines because I get anxiety about that shit. So it's like you have the perfect efficient worker, but it like pissed you off because never once was I informed. Like nobody ever, like again with like in school, nobody ever took me aside to say like, "Hey, if you want to be taken seriously, do this," or "We don't like this behavior," then like get off Facebook and just watch the news, right? Because I'd be like, well, why? I don't need to sit here if no work is coming, just stare at no,
Oh yeah, I hear that.
this is dumb.
I hear that 100%. There are many jobs that I was like, really? Okay, I finished the task you gave me and there's nothing else? Yeah, of course I'm going to go on Facebook. Of course. What the hell else am I going to do?
Yeah, or it's just like, and the only reason you catch me on Facebook is because my computer screen is towards you, where yours is fucking hidden, but I know you're on it, Liana.
Oh my God.
Bitch.
That's why, like, you got to get everybody out there, you got to get a privacy screen. You know what I mean? That's honestly.
No, but I'd be on like laptop, or I'd be on like the desk, because like I'm bored.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hear you. So, okay, so there's two questions here I want to ask.
I know, right?
I want to go from.
You need to know.
I want to go like, do you find that being ADHD is an advantage? Does it help you in your stand-up? Because stand-up is a process where you've got to focus on. Well, there you go, hyper focus, right? Where you got to focus on what you're going to write. Do you find ADHD is helpful to that, or no?
Like no.
No.
I think ADHD is helpful just for the way I look and see things.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know if it is, because some days I take it really serious. No, it's actually, stand-up is perfect for the ADHD in me, right? Because I waste time, right? A lot, and then I go to do like 20 minutes of work really, really fast, and on that, so it kind of like does the opposite. But I don't know. I wish I was more like I wish I could do like it made me more focus in on like writing stuff, because I'm very lazy.
Yeah, like, because that's like part of performing is one thing, right? Getting up there and doing the actual work, but like the sitting down and writing of the thing is, I think that's the hardest part, right?
Yeah, I think I used to be more active on it and more like purposeful.
I feel like calling it lazy is a bit, not a bit. I think it's really harsh on yourself. Like if you're not laziness is like a choice, right? Like, oh, I'm just not going to do it. But like if you're not programmed,
I don't think laziness is a choice. I think sometimes laziness, like, I think it depends. Like, I don't think it's necessarily lazy that I don't do my work until the last minute.
Yeah, because you still get it done.
Yeah, I think because I'm just tired.
It might have to do, you know.
This is all like, this is hitting really hard close to home, guys. I'm gonna lie.
Well, like, I think it's something to be said about habits, right? About our habits in general. You can have, you know, what they call good habits, which would be like, okay, I get my writing done this many times a week, and you know, but like, yeah.
Adaptive.
Isn't that a little bootstrappy though? Like that's for all the normies that can do it.
That's just
on time.
Well, yeah, I mean,
but like at the same time, like I don't feel that like a lot of most people are like, how do you do all this stuff? How do you do all this stuff? And it's like it's just what I know to do. Like I'm currently Mort. Sorry, my cat is being incredibly rude right now. I'm currently in school full time. So I'm in university taking a full-time course load. I have a 20-hour-a-week part-time job at the YWCA.
Oh, okay.
I work at the Second City, and I still do stand-up.
Holy shit! All right,
right?
And you have kids.
And that's leaving all the fact that I have a child with ADHD and a child with autism that I'm constantly taking to services and blah blah blah. So like.
Yeah, of course you're good at multitasking.
Yeah, it's just what I know. But like at the same time, like, so then when it's like, do you want to sit down and write? I'm like, no, I'm tired.
No,
yeah, you're not lazy. You're exhausted from life.
Yeah. That's a difference.
But then, like, right, if I don't do this and that, then you know, I don't have money, or I'm not working towards getting my degree done, or I'm not doing the thing, or I'm not doing like being a parent, or I'm not you know, doing the thing that makes me still feel like myself out of all these things. So it's like, which one do you cut?
Right. And I've
always,
that's the struggle.
Yeah. That is the struggle. Which one do you cut? Because like, it's all like, this and that, and people are like, I just don't know how you do it. And I'm like, well, I'm happy for most of it.
Yeah. I need to do it. I need to do it
Also,
all. I wouldn't. It sounds like if you only had like one job, you know, and that's it, and you came home, or if you were just even if you're,
to do that.
You do that.
Yeah, and I think that I've tried to do that. I tried to do just having one job, but like like working in TV was like horrible for me. And so then like as I'm still trying to find that one job, which hopefully will be being a therapist,
which is
especially for people with ADHD and this and autism. And so like that's what I'm trying to do. And if I'm there, then I will absolutely drop a few things. But like until then, it's all about like, I think trying to find what makes you happy.
Boom.
And it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, I'm not going to just do a job because it pays well and blah, blah, blah. Or I'm not going to do a shitty job a good job that I absolutely love that pays shitty. Because I don't have those. I don't have that option. And I can't sit there. I had a shitty job that made me shitty.
Yeah.
Working at like Chorus and all the television things and like stand-up comedy. Like it's next to impossible to do comedy full time. And I made the decision to, especially in Canada. And I teach this I break hearts weekly teaching stand-up, being like, well, it's not the States, but you can do work, but it's hard work. And I think that's also why now, after I get it more and I've understood who I am and I'm more seasoned, and becoming a mom really helped it as well. I don't know if it's the same in improv or if you've ever had this in when you're doing stand-up, but the fact that like you, especially women, and anybody in Canada, you get super jealous of what people get. Not a lot. And now I just see and know the amount of work that these people have put in, majority of them who are not just like a flash in the pan, and I'm like, you get it. I want you to get it. Even if I don't find you funny. People.
Sometimes I'll be like, I'll be like, I do not think you're funny, but I respect that hustle. I respect how much you work.
And I'm like, you're not taking anything from me.
Exactly.
Before I settled down with my husband, I had like the opportunity, and I was working in the States, and I had representation, and I was like, this is not what I want.
Right.
And I looked away from it. Well, I think not that I'd be the next. I'd be like every other Canadian down there right now and just doing brunch, apparently.
It's true. They all hang out together and eat food.
But they're doing really well, and I love all of them. And I just want all the best for them. But I'm like,
they get sunshine.
Well,
get to go to the beach.
No, don't do it. Don't turn it into weather pod again, Brie.
I just want warmth. It happens. Rhiannon, I need to know. I mean, I think I understand, but maybe a little more clearly how you went from "fuck you, Chorus, I'm out of here" mid-pandemic to "that's it, I'm going to be a therapist. I'm going back to school."
Okay, so I was always told that I was not going to amount to much and that I was lazy and dumb.
Oh my God.
And
I want to. Can I hug you right now? I would just like to hug you.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. No,
I don't care if you. Like, you can tell yourself you're fine. I want to hug you anyway.
Yeah, you can. I'm fine with that.
Okay, good.
But I went back to school for marketing, thinking, oh, maybe I'll do marketing. And holy shit, I took it at York and then was like, fuck this. Like, it's not that hard. And my sister-in-law, she was doing her master's. She's amazing. She was an ECE, and her and I, like, she does the Lord's work. She teaches kids, and I couldn't imagine doing that. And like all CEEs, she got paid. ECE, she got paid shit.
What is ECE?
Yeah.
What they did.
Early childhood education.
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Within daycares and stuff. And so she decided to go back and got her master's in social work, and now she's doing amazing hard work. But like, again, she's amazing. And I was like, if that bitch can do it, so can I. And then I sat there and I was like, it's always been my dream to be like a therapist. I wanted to be a therapist as well when I was little, because I like making people feel better. Always liked doing that. The big reason why I do stand up is because when I was younger, I used to listen to a lot of stand up to make me feel better when I felt down. And I was like, wow, making people laugh is so powerful. Because I'll make you forget whatever you're doing or whatever's going on in your life for a split second and give you the best feeling ever, and that's a laugh, right? Like, so I wasn't going anywhere with Chorus, and I was fighting with them to pay me a livable wage and to respect me, and they just wouldn't. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. And my hairdresser was also like, I just applied to go back to school. I'm gonna do it. I can do it part-time. I can do it this and that. And I was like, what if I just fucking quit? What if I just fucking quit? And then was like, I'm done with TV. And I went back to school and I just figured it out. And I married a person who has more money than me. What if I did that? And I talked to my husband. He said, yeah, I think you should do that. Cause like,
but I want a piece of that action.
Well, yeah, well, no, it's just like, and I just went, fuck it. I applied, I got accepted. And then I just walked over to, oh, my boss wasn't there. Sorry, that's not true. I opened up my Outlook at Chorus and I wrote my boss, hey, can you call me? And he called me right away. And I said, I quit.
Nice.
I'm giving you 2 weeks. You're lucky I'll give you that, because I said to him, the only reason I actually gave them 3 weeks because it was fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
I'll give you 3 weeks because we had like a big promotion. And I said to Jason, I was like, the only reason I'm doing 3 weeks is because you're amazing and I don't want to fuck your life. And he was very thankful, but he was like, you sure you don't want to just work part-time? Like, I'll let you work very minimal and still pay full-time. And I was like,
oh, wow.
No. Well, they were fucked.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Normally I said, I would not give this company 2 weeks. I'd quit on the spot, because I know for a fact from many experiences that if you're going to fire me, you're going to do it on the spot. So why am I going to do that grace? Never give people 2 weeks. They don't deserve it, in my opinion. Because they'll fire you on the spot.
Yeah.
Unless you like them.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't feel that never feel you need to give 2 weeks. Ever.
Man, you're blowing my mind.
So then, yeah. And I fully believe that when you take massive jumps, they are fucking terrifying, because they are terrifying. I was absolutely terrified. I was like, I gotta go to fucking Frosh Week at my age? No. Absolutely not. And I was like, I have to take a course called Stats. That's math? Abso-fucking-lutely. And I did it. And the fucked up thing is that I've never made more money being off, and I've never had more enjoyment from it's still a struggle, don't get me wrong. Like, I am fucking screaming in stats class. I am fucking but I just got smarter, and because I started, and I know this sounds so cliched and I fucking hate it, but like, when you take a huge risk like this, I'm not a spiritual person, I'm not nothing like that, but the universe does have this way of being like, okay, you took a big risk, I will reward you. And I picked up more stand-up comedy. I picked up more corporate gigs. I landed a dream job working with the YWCA, where, oh my God, I teach seniors how to use the internet.
Oh,
love them.
Where's the Pornhub on this machine?
I know. Great tube. And yeah, I am on the dean's list. I just got a scholarship award for my high grades and recognized.
Sick.
I know, it's one of those things. And isn't it amazing when you just stop and if you look at it and you're like, this person is struggling, i.e. in school, throughout my life, and blah blah blah. Why are they struggling? Can we help them? And now look at what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's insanity. It's infuriating because I'm like, what the fuck? Why couldn't you guys do this when I was a kid? Because who knows? But like, I really like my life. I've had all these like fucking stupid things that have happened and just like things that were crushing at the time, but like I'm over them, right? Like I'm not being like, yeah, I know it was okay that they did. It's never okay, but I have properly processed it and dealt with those feelings and this and that. And I'm really excited, but I struggle like crazy.
I mean, it sounded
Yeah.
it sounded like the most mentally sound, or like mental health, the most healthy mental health. Like, yeah, I processed the shit. I recognize it was shit, but I let that shit go.
Yeah, well, because like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Well,
But yeah,
what's next? Do you
yeah.
think you're if you okay, next step, let's say you become, Canada's greatest therapist on the reality show Canada's Greatest Therapist. But
Is that Howie Mandel involved?
probably, if it has to do with mental health.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you think you continue doing stand up? Do you think this is it? Do you think
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would actually intertwine the stand up into my practice, because I will go for my master's in psychotherapy, because stand up is not therapy. I repeat that constantly in my classes.
I say the same thing about improv.
Stand up is not therapy, but it is therapeutic.
Same with
And
improv.
if you want
okay.
to process these, to aid in processing things that you're upset about, let's do it. But otherwise, we're not here to like this or that. And it's a super cathartic way to do it, I find. And
Yeah,
so,
especially if people laugh.
yeah. Yeah, and if they don't, fuck them, what's up their ass. Let me see if that bitch.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I will absolutely do it. But we'll see what happens later on.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like maybe I just won't want to do it anymore. We'll see. I still love it. Even though I was supposed to do a show today, but Alfie got really sick and threw up, so I can't take that chance with a little, because I can't give people COVID again.
Right. What's it all about? Barfy. Oh,
yeah,
God.
I'm like, what now? But yeah.
Rhiannon, I don't know. This is great.
God.
What?
That bitch is on Facebook.
All right. I think we'll leave it here. We'll thank you for joining us on this episode, and I'll let you reach out to your former teacher and rage the well, at least share the episode when it comes out. No, you don't have to, but I love that she's on.
Was that rage share?
Rage share the episode.
I bet she votes conservative too. What a bitch.
Does she? Is it like a private profile, or can we go on there and start?
Oh, girl, I'm sending it to you.
Woo! I love it. Nick,
is she on Rate Your Teacher?
Oh my God.
I don't think.
Yeah.
She has. This woman is ancient. She has
okay.
got to be retired by now.
Hey man, you never know. They started bringing them back during the pandemic, so.
Oh my God, because there's not enough. Oh, okay, I sent it to you on Facebook, Brie.
Okay, I'm gonna go check that out. I can't wait. Rhiannon, thank you so much. Thank you. This was so much fun. I mean,
I know. Thanks, guys, for listening to me. And like, if you can, check out Disney on Ice. Just it was a fun time. It was really well done, but like, just letting you know that.
Just watch out for fellow audience members.
That's right, especially the ones taking.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take a photo, take a photo after the performance is finished. Maybe outside the building.
or like just one.
Or just
two.
one. Yeah.
It's not a photo shoot out there.
That's right. Well, isn't the world a photo shoot now with our phones? Anyway, let's say we end our podcast by saying "struggle on." You want to say it with us, Rhiannon?
Yeah. Ready?
Yeah.
Would we do it like 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, let's do it. 1,
Yep.
2, 3. Struggle on.
Struggle on.
I'll be here in a couple years when you need to talk.
Amazing. I will. If mine leaves, if mine ever retires, I'm fucked. So hopefully she never does. Anyway, I'm just going to stop recording.
Mine said I was fixed, so that's good. Yeah, Brie, that was yet another fun improv podcast for me, where improv was mentioned.
Well, not as much as usual this time.
I feel like I laughed and giggled basically throughout the episode.
Well, that's good because Rhiannon is a comedian.
Yeah, she should carry on doing that. What with the being funny and all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so this has been episode 77 of the Constant Struggle podcast. If you want more information about Rhiannon Archer, be sure to check out our notes at theconstantstruggle.podbean.com. We'll have all of the links to her socials and her website, so you can keep an eye on the fun comedy that she's got coming up. Fun fact, her and I have discussed putting on a monthly stand-up show in Hamilton at a pretty cool theater that's just reopening there. So hopefully that happens. But I'm just putting that out into the universe right now so that it actually happens.
I feel like the good folks of Hamilton, Ontario will appreciate comedy.
They have some, but there could always be more. There could always be more, in particular, women voices, as far as I'm concerned. There's a lot of dudes in Hamilton.
Yeah, get the funny ladies out there.
Damn tootin'. If you liked this episode, you found it helpful, try to share it around. Maybe it'll help somebody else's artistic struggle along the way.
Give it a like and the old subscribe on the Apple Podcast button-roni.
That's right.
Ugh, that felt wrong.
That's okay.
And it's also in the old Google Podcast. That one's not so old. And Good Pods, which is a thing that I'm reading. So that probably exists.
Yeah. And Podbean. That's where we are hosted.
Oh, that's where we live, Brie.
That's our home. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at SstrugglePod and to like our Facebook fan page at the Constant Struggle Podcast on Facebook. But not the metaverse. We don't exist.
I was going to say, are we in the metaverse?
Are we right now? I don't know. Is this a podcast or is this cake? I don't know.
Are we human or are we dancers? Thank you for listening and
struggle on.